What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming back to the channel. This is Cody, and I'm back after a little while off, kind of just taking a break. But I'm here with some interesting information about the Queen, the recent series that's been airing called MoonKnight, and also the upcoming Lunar Eclipse. So if you're interested in any of those topics, stick around to the end, and I'm going to tie them all in together and bring some information together for you. So the first thing I want to start off by saying is that the series that's been airing on Disney Plus called MoonKnight, it started airing on March 30th, and the last episode of the first season, or some are saying this will be the only season, aired today on May 4th, and it is called Gods and Monsters. And so first of all, I just want to say that MoonKnight equals 54, just like the day of the last episode airing is 5-4. Again, the 5-4 is going to continue to come up because it's a huge number. It's a number associated with the sun also, but you're also going to see that this number 54 is associated with the moon and obviously MoonKnight. So what I think is that we are getting ready to move from a more feminine, less aggressive energy to a more aggressive energy, hence the war theme that's going on. So the whole thing that I think about the Queen and her passing and then the King of England obviously taking her place is you're going from a feminine to a masculine energy. So again, just keep that in mind as we go throughout this decode. So anyway, this is the first part, the initial part of the decode, and again, MoonKnight equals 54, just like it's ending its first season on 5-4. Now, let's talk about the Gods and Monsters, because that's the name of the episode, the last episode, which is the sixth episode. And notice that, again, the Queen is tied into many of these events because this year is her Jubilee, and she's celebrating her 70-year reign. And also, I just want to show just how tied the Queen is to the moon, right? I already showed you guys in prior videos how the movie Moonfall was tied to the Queen, because Moonfall is 88, just like Elizabeth is 88. But I'm not going to rehash that information here. I just want to remind you guys of that. Now, notice that the official title Wikipedia gives her is Elizabeth II. And if you take that into the calculator, you're going to get 61, just like the last episode of MoonKnight called Gods and Monsters equals 61 in the same cipher. So it's interesting that that is the name of the episode, the last episode, also airing on May 4th. So I'm going to show you how that's important. So the first thing I want to show is this is a little bit of experimentation with Gematria. Again, I've talked about this in many of my prior episodes, but basically, Operation London Bridge is the plan for what will happen in the United Kingdom and overseas territories when the Queen dies. Okay, so that's the name of the plan of action that they will take when the Queen dies or when her death is announced, because many think that she has already passed. Again, guys, I know I talk a lot about the Queen, but it's a huge topic because she is the feminine energy of the world. She is, maybe we all know that she doesn't rule the world. She's not the one making the decisions, but she is the symbol of the world. So again, and she's reigned for 70 years, and for a very long time, that has been the energy of this world. So we're about ready to transition when she passes into a new stage. So it's a huge event, and that's why I continue to talk about it. And I think it's continually going to be tied with the power outages and with the war and with all these other things. But again, guys, just notice that Operation London Bridge, which is the operation for her death, is a direct match to MoonKnight, Elizabeth II, in every cipher. Again, that is not a coincidence, I don't believe, because, again, in order for it to match in every cipher, is just not a coincidence. You got Elizabeth II being tied to the moon, and the show, the MoonKnight, I think also paying homage to her. And so, yeah, the fact that this Operation London Bridge for her death is a match to MoonKnight, Elizabeth II, in all ciphers. So watch out for May 11th, guys, because this is the 115. I talked about the 115 for my April 25th video for the power outages, but the 115 is a huge number, and so watch out for the 11th of May, because it seems to be an interesting day. Of course, I'm going to bring up a few other days. Actually, just watch out for every day in May, because I think that every day has a potential to have a queen announcement or a cyber attack or something of the sort. Now, they may hold it off till June, but I don't know for sure. I'm just bringing the information that I have to you guys. So anyway, let's move on. I just want to talk about the main character of this show, MoonKnight. It is based off the Egyptian god Khonsu. Again, Khonsu equals 88, just like Elizabeth equals 88. And also Moonfall equals 88. So again, another tie between the moon and Queen Elizabeth and this Egyptian god. Now, I found this picture. Most of the pictures online of Khonsu depict him as a skull falcon's head. And again, this picture, though, details more of the feminine energy behind the moon, right? And I'm going to talk more about how the moon's feminine energy is clearly tied to the menstrual cycles and all that other things. But again, you notice the crescent moon above his head. He normally is depicted with a crescent moon above his head. And again, it represents divine protection, benevolence, like a mother, right? And it's to me, it's clear that the moon is the feminine energy, and embodying the night sky and all that other things, elegant, powerful, and just feminine in every way. So again, keep this in mind as we continue through. I just thought this was a great depiction of the feminine energy of the moon and how it's all tied together. So again, this is the main character, the main god of the movie or the show MoonKnight. So let's move on. I just wanted to bring up the lunar cycles and the menstrual cycles, because here you can see that according to one study, synchronicity does exist between the menstrual cycle and lunar cycles. The study involved 826 women between 16 and 25. A large number of the participants menstruated during the new moon, which is 28%. Conversely, the rate of menstruation on other days opposite of the new moon was much lower. And so now I just want to bring up this point, guys, is as we've increasingly gone to an unnatural way of living, which means we're living under artificial light, artificial conditions. We're not outside enough. Look at what this says, guys. It says that in the recent study, participants with menstrual cycles longer than 27 days tracked their cycle synchronicity for around 14 years. The study showed that their menstrual cycles were indeed sometimes synchronous with the moon's cycles. However, the age and exposure to light, artificial light, affected the menstrual cycles. So again, the natural way for women to be is to be correlated with the moon cycles. That is my opinion on this. And it tells you right here that exposure to artificial light, or living a lot of times away from sunlight, away from natural light, has affected the menstrual cycles and made us unnaturally lose our cycles away from the moon. So again, synchronicity was lost, as I have highlighted at the bottom there. So that's just highlighting the importance of getting plenty of real sunlight and not spending too much time in the artificial sunlight. So let's move forward. More things from this article. It says a full lunar cycle lasts from one new moon to the next and takes about 29.5 days. The average menstrual cycle is around 28 to 29 days. So again, even the length is very similar. And again, it's clear to see that, and I'm going to show you how the Gematria ties the moon to the menstrual cycle as well. And here's the last picture here at the bottom, guys. Throughout the ages, people have associated the moon with fertility and female energy. So again, in the old days, when there was less exposure to artificial light and artificial conditions, it was going to be clear that they associated female energy with the moon, because the moon cycles would have been more correlated back then than they are now with the moon. So, and again, guys, look at this. Menstrual equals 57 and moon equals 57. So again, this Gematria just continues to prove things with numbers, how things are related. And this 57 is also tied to Queen Elizabeth in a lot of ways, but I'm not going to bring that up here. But anyways, the 57 menstrual and the 57 moon is a huge tie-in, and I'm going to show you more. So, but I want to talk about the lunar eclipse, again, that's coming up in a few days on May 15th, and this will be the first total lunar eclipse of 2022, and it'll be, the second one will happen on November 11th, So watch out for that day, because that has a huge 111 or 118 connection here. But notice that, this month, obviously, around this moonfall show ending, or this moon night show ending, you have this lunar eclipse. So again, if we move forward here, we're going to see that the moon night, again, is a direct match to lunar eclipse. So moon night ends on May 4th, and lunar eclipse was going to happen 11 days later on May 15th, and lunar eclipse also equals 54. And again, guys, menstrual cycle, again, tying to the moon, equals 54. And so these things are all correlated with the queen, obviously being the feminine energy of the world. And notice, guys, that when you type in Queen Elizabeth II, you're going to get a 108. And 108, if you type in Moon, Queen Elizabeth II, you're also going to get 108. And if you type in Moon's feminine energy, you're going to get 108. So again, more experimental gematria here, but I believe it tells a very important picture of what I've been stating. So again, and then the last one here at the bottom, guys, is Moon, Elizabeth II, matches lunar eclipse May 15th, which is when the lunar eclipse will be taking place on May 15th. And again, Elizabeth II also equals 82, just like Moon Elizabeth II. So again, the moon is finishing her phrases, and it's making the numbers match up. So clearly tied to the moon and this lunar eclipse. And again, guys, this lunar eclipse that's happening on the 15th and the 16th. I mean, let's see what happens, because, it's going to be an interesting time. And it's only 2 days after May the 13th, which is a Friday the 13th. And so watch out for May 7th, May 8th, May 9th. I mean, every day, guys, there could be some interesting things happening. But just more importantly, the move from the feminine energy, or the non-war energy, to the more aggressive male masculine energy. I think when the queen dies, that will be the signifying of the more masculine warlike energy that may come. And so we'll see what happens. But again, I just think this is an interesting correlation between the moon, the menstrual cycle, the women, the feminine, all those things tying together here in this very important time in our history where the queen is reaching her end days, and she is the main feminine energy on the world stage. And so again, guys, I just wanted to talk about all this information and experiment a little bit with the gematria. And thanks for watching the channel always, guys. I appreciate all of you, and I really hope that you guys have a great day, a great week. Many blessings to you all. Take care.